Jason Hoops and Travis Ludlow bringing you wrestling from Manti High School. We drove through the canyon and down the road a little bit, and we now they just barely started. Don't let the fact that it's heavyweights or the bigger weights, don't let that fool you. That's number one.
Yeah, we're starting heavy. So we have Ryder Vincent from Juab and against Kellen Lund from Manti.
Ryder Vincent.
That
looked like Jake to me, but I guess that's not him. All right, 2 points and then 1 point, right?
Yeah.
Saw there. All right, everybody. We've got the view that we've got from our computer. It looks like the action is choppy, but it also says that we've got perfect streaming right now. So hopefully you're seeing it all good.
Yeah, we've got the score 15-2. He's going to.
And it's going to be there's a pin. It would have been a tech pin, but and these kind of situations like that, you just are really proud for. I mean, wrestling is tough no matter what, but one of the things that makes wrestling tough that I don't think you have quite in any other sport, at least available to high school students, is the solo isolation losing in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Right. So. Yeah. That's why I'm like any kid. I mean, and especially kids don't like to do hard things, right? Who does? But for teenagers to intentionally go out and wrestle, that's a hard. Big deal.
Yeah,
that's a really big deal.
Yeah, you show a lot of courage when you get on that mat.
Yeah. So even though he went out there and he got beat by 15 points, he actually got pinned, right? But he was on his way to getting technically pinned.
It looked like that was their varsity guy that wrestled kind of, I don't know if it was exhibition or not, but he was pretty good to our guy. He wasn't going to go out there and just beat him up too much.
Yeah. All right, so now we're back down to the
featherweights. Yeah. So we've got Derek Bassett for Juab and Porter Daniels for Manti.
You know, my wife gave me she says, like, is there anything, can you describe, instead of saying the little guys, she said,
how about light feather guys?
Lightweight guys, yeah, the featherweight guys, right? I mean, the fact is, these guys that are the lower weights, those guys are like they're quick as cats, right? I mean,
well, I think you described them last time as a mongoose.
Yeah, they're like a mongoose.
They fly, man.
So I mean, I can't. My brain doesn't even think that fast, as fast as they're moving.
This is pretty exciting to watch. Derek, this is his first year, and so he's just out there trying new things and building character is really what he's doing out there right now.
And you know what? This has to happen for a new wrestler for him to realize, oh, this is why my coach is telling me to sprawl. Oh, this is what that means. And I can't. I got to sprawl. I gotta have that thing be muscle memory. I can't think about sprawling. I just have to sprawl.
Yeah.
And that just goes. That happens with hundreds of repetitions, and you come out here and you come out here and get beat, but you have to. And I watched a kid that I grew up with. I think his first year of wrestling was 7th grade, which in the world of wrestling, even back then, that was late.
Yeah.
It's really late now. Yeah. But by the time he was a freshman in high school, he was in the state finals.
Yeah, and it didn't happen his first year, right? I mean, it happened his 5th and 6th year.
Yeah.
So with that one, we have Manti over Juab, Porter Daniels against Derek Bassett. We now have Rio Wright from Juab and Wyatt Hanks from Manti. I think Rio, he's been at this 3 or 4 years. I think he started as he's either a freshman or a sophomore, and he's really been doing a lot of good things.
Rio from Manti?
Rio from Juab.
From Juab, okay.
Wrestling Wyatt Hanks from Manti.
All right, Rio and Wyatt.
Yeah.
This is my first time in this gymnasium. This is different for me. I've been in every gymnasium you could think of in Wyoming hundreds of times, it seems like. And here we are in Manti High School. I feel honored to be here. Love it.
Well, as we were walking up, Dawson said, I don't know if they have a better view than any other high school in the country.
Yeah.
Just right at the base of the Manti Temple.
Right.
So.
And their mascot are the Templars, the Knights Templar. That's kind of cool.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. All right, 2 points for Rio. And he's working on a far side cradle. He's reaching over, but then he gets his body on the same side as the cradle. And believe it or not, you got to sit him. To get them on their back from this position is a little bit tough. We saw a couple of times this last weekend, Juab, they're the ones initiating the move. They're the ones with the cradle, and they kind of set them back on their butt to get them on their back. And in that little transition, the guy that's getting cradled ends up posting and stopping the movement and catching them on their back.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Now, the advantage that Rio has is he's kind of a tall, lanky kid.
Yeah.
Cradles are just kind of his next move, right?
We've talked about it before, too. There's everybody in their mind has a body type that says wrestler, and yet there's all kinds of body types, and you can never judge a book by its cover in wrestling.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, true.
You might have a long, tall drink of water and watch that guy tie you up like an octopus.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, especially when he's got those long legs and he's able to do a leg ride on you, he can just twist you.
I mean, there's some leverage. It's like they can do different things, and that's why wrestling is the ultimate. In education they talk about differentiated instruction, right? And meeting students where they're at, right? A wrestling room is that. You cannot teach one set of moves and have them apply to all your wrestlers. It just doesn't work that way. You've got to do individual coaching, and that's why most wrestling programs in high school, anyway, they got several coaches. They got a big guy to wrestle with the big guys. They got a middleweight to the middleweight, and the featherweights have their and they kind of have to teach different things.
Yeah.
I mean, the fundamentals are still the fundamentals, but
different moves for different size.
Right.
Yeah. So Rio was up 4-1. Started the second period. I believe he chooses down. Yeah, he's not going down easy. He posted pretty good there.
He wanted to step over that leg, so it didn't get tangled up in his efforts to get away, but he still just was patient, stayed up on his feet. He's fighting hands, and then Wyatt just drops down on an ankle. Now Wyatt's going to get busted by the official if he hangs on like that. He's supposed to climb up onto the body and not hang onto the legs for that long. But
yeah, he's going to get hit a stall point.
But it looks like the official is not really wanting to call that, but maybe because they're both kind of, I don't know. Anyway, here they go, wrestling.
Yeah. I'm surprised there you go.
He goes.
Yeah. So stalling on Manti.
Yeah, that's supposed to happen in 5 seconds. But he could.
I'm a little worried about that knee.
Yeah, I'm worried about.
They're going to stop it here shortly. I'm sure.
It's not worth a knee. I'll tell you that. All right, Wyatt.
Rio just turned him.
Yeah, Rio's got kind of
no control yet.
They do something weird now, and I can't remember if they started it last year or if it's new this year, but they've got, you get in these scramble positions where nobody really has any control, yet one guy is on his back. And so the official, after I think it's 5 seconds, says danger, and that means he can start counting back points against that guy that's on his back.
Yeah.
And if he gets a certain amount of points, then a takedown and back, or a certain amount of swipes, then a takedown and back points are awarded, something like that.
Yeah.
So
a little more than normal.
Yeah.
I mean, and then also you've seen that where kids that are on the bottom, they pin themselves.
Yeah. And there's defensive pins, and this is to kind of give to kind of expand on that, so that if a guy's in a bad position in wrestling, you're not supposed to let your back face the mat, right? So even if you're scrambling, but you're sitting there on your back, after a little bit, maybe you ought to get penalized for that because your back's facing the mat, right? All right, 7-1 now as we head into the third period, and Mr. Rio. Mr. Rio is in control, 7-1. By the way, they're doing 2-minute rounds. Remember this weekend?
90 seconds.
Miller, they had 90 seconds, and I felt robbed. They stole some wrestling from me.
Right. Not quite sure what they're doing to the score.
Yeah, it's
certainly not 2-1, but
yeah.
I think it's 9-1 or 11-1.
Yeah, counting these back points here. 7, 8, 9. It could be 12. Did they start on their feet? Were they neutral?
Yeah, and
okay.
He got 2. So 7-1, 9-2 or 9-1. Now, what would that be? 12-1.
12-1. Yeah,
12-1.
Should be 12-1. And yeah, look at they're now at 5-1.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just trying to keep it competitive.
Yeah,
you know?
Just keep it close.
All right. You know, some of these he's putting a cradle on another long, lanky guy, and he's still he's got that thing. He's trying to get it tight, but the guy's got so much room to wiggle because he's not big and bulky. If you put me in a cradle right now, there'd be back injury. They'd be hauling me to
the ER would be full.
Yeah, it would not be pretty.
Well, certainly my body type. I wasn't a big cradle guy.
Yeah, neither was I.
I mean, maybe near side when it presented itself, but certainly not a long, cross face cradle.
Drape over, go far side, drape over like an octopus, and tie him up. But. All right, 3 back points to end the match, and the score here says 8-1. I don't know where they did that, but it doesn't really matter because there's so many forfeits here that. And just a heads up to everybody, it's going to be a short night. They canceled girls wrestling, which allowed us to get here and get set up in time so that we could broadcast JV wrestling. And just so you know, folks, we try to broadcast everything we can, but. Just with work requirements, we got to do the right thing for work.
That darn work.
I know.
I mean, it kind of gets in the way.
It's pesky. So, but we were able to get here in time and get set up in time for the JV matches, and this is Big Jake.
Jake Adams against Isaac Meekum for
Jake
Manti.
and Isaac. Jake giving him a little shake and bake for sure.
He's such a fun kid.
He is he's just an outstanding human. I can't wait to meet his parents someday because they got to be awesome. When you think about Jake, and that kid is just nothing but smiles and outgoing and awesome, and class president, if I understand correctly, as a freshman.
Yeah,
so,
he's an SBO guy or a class officer.
Yep, just a
lot of fun.
And that didn't. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, of course, Jake's the guy.
Yeah, he lights the room up when
he
he
sure
walks
does.
in.
Awesome. So look at these guys kind of collar tying a little bit. Jake's digging underhook on the left side. Jake's looking for something. Oh, he's going to go behind. Oh, I don't want to get him out. There he goes.
There he is.
There's a 2-point takedown for Mr. Jake. Jake's got him on his back, cranked him in a little half Nelson, put him over. Jake's a little bit, okay, now we see how he's kind of sucked back a little bit and tried to get more chest to chest and got himself a pin.
Yeah, he had a lot of time extra. He could have just sat on that for a while, but gets the pin, and good win for old Jake.
Yep. All right, who's up next? Almost looks
next
like
it is. It looks like Traden Osborne. I'm going to confirm that. They're kind of not in order. Let me see if I can go to order number 3.
As most of you that are watching know, when you show up at a high school like this, and especially when it's this close, you just try to bring as many of your squad as you can, and you know you're just going to get creative in finding as many people a match as you can.
Yeah, so here we have Traden Osborne from Juab, and he's wrestling Brian Marquise.
Oh, Traden, that was a slick. I don't know if you saw him tie up, snap the guy down, and as soon as that guy reacted to the snap, he shot underneath. Double-legged him and just put him right down. So feet to back, and Traden is adjusting. He's got a tight half. See how he's lifting that head? See how he's lifting that head? And that's just so he can sink those shoulders down tight.
Look at him. He's right on his toes.
Yep. And then Nephi gets off of his back. Manti does. And Traden's back with a half Nelson and a pin. That snap and go takedown was that just makes coaches happy when they see a wrestler that understands a takedown is basically there's 3 parts, but you got to do them all so fast they look like one. There's a setup, then the move, and then you got to finish.
Yeah.
And at every level of wrestling, it's you go from junior high to high school, and you realize, oh, I got to set up a takedown. I can't just shoot.
Yeah.
And then when you go from high school to college, you realize, oh, just because I got in deep on his legs,
it doesn't mean you're going to.
Doesn't mean you're getting the takedown. You got to finish that thing. You got to finish it fast.
Yeah, yeah. So here we have Jason Tegan Anderson from Juab, and he's wrestling Porter Gray from Manti.
And Tegan I didn't see the first takedown
it was an awesome fireman, almost a high crotch combination. It was pretty slick.
And then this last one, I guess he didn't award the takedown. I don't know what the official missed to not award that, or what I missed, I should say, because I was busy yapping. But that was a good-looking takedown, and here's takedown number 3.
Yeah, just standard double leg there, huh?
Yep. There's 2 points. He must not have had enough control on that last one, but it was a takedown. It looked perfect. So, all right, see, he's got a wrist control, and he's trying to do that little roll-through tilt right there. He cranks him. It looks weird, but he's got
roll through that one.
Yeah, I don't think he had him there long enough to get any points out of the deal. Coach is saying, go again, and see how he's got his leg underneath Manti's bottom leg, and that is critical. But he's in a little weird spot, but he doesn't care. He adjusts.
I think Tegan is a sophomore this year. Had a great year last year as a freshman, and learned a lot of good things.
Wow, arm bar to a pin that was, there's impressions in the mat of his shoulder blades.
All right, Jason, we have Kel Blackett from Juab. He is wrestling Zane James.
How many Blackett's are there?
Half of the town. No, I'm not joking. Okay. I think 3 or 4 wrestlers are the Blacketts.
Right. So I'm from a town in Wyoming where there's just certain names, and they just never die, right? There's just always, 10 or 20 to choose from.
Yeah.
And every year, every grade's got a couple of them, and so you just never run out of certain names of wrestling. And
Blackett's is just a hometown Nephi name.
Sounds like a tough
good
wrestling
families.
name.
Good families.
All right. Cale Blackett takedown, cranked him over. Looks like he's getting a pin. The ref's looking for everything, and found it.
Yep, that was it.
Finally awarded the pin. Cale Blackett, and Cale's a wrestling name. Depends on how they spell it, but yeah, Cale's a wrestling name.
Yeah, you know a Cale.
Well, I do. Got one, but it's funny that there's that spelling.
The K versus the C.
Yeah. But it seems like it doesn't seem like, I know there's a ton of wrestlers around the country whose name is Cale.
I wonder why. Is there happen to be a Pennsylvania coach?
Yeah.
Maybe Olympic champion?
Yeah. From Utah.
From Wasatch.
Yeah. Whoa! Snap down, go behind.
Let me give you a quick name. Isaiah Hosea is for Juab wrestling Hynum Tippets from Manti.
All right, Isaiah with a quick go behind takedown, and he's putting all kinds of heat on his Manti guy, and it's going to be over with because you can't. Okay, there we go. Take down, and Isaiah wants to help him up. Isaiah Hosea. Love it.
All right. So I believe we're going to skip one match, give Tegan Anderson a break. He'll be back out with us. But here we have Ryder Vincent from Juab, and he's wrestling Isaac Meekum from Manti.
Ryder did a head snap to the side that kind of slung Isaac Meekum?
Yeah, Isaac Meekum.
Okay, Ryder slung Isaac like a rag doll for a little bit there, and those are big guys.
I was almost thinking we were watching WWF there for a minute.
For a second.
We just needed the rings, and we would have been fully set.
And then jumping off the top turnbuckle, and look at that power half to the half, and let's see if
Yeah, he's just going to sit right on him there. Tied up his arm. Also have his leg there, you can see.
We're burning through these.
Yeah,
I might need to have a conversation with him. So you can't pin him until you get to the second round, at least.
And that's it. That's
JV wrestling.
JV.
Huh? Okay. Well, I don't know if they're actually going to wait until 7 to start this or the varsity round, or if they're going to start them up a little bit early. But stay close.
I mean, I certainly think we can entertain the crowd for the next half hour.
But we might use up all our material.
Yeah, that's right. We have to be limited.
Oh, shoot. Well, this is a good time to hit the restroom, maybe go to the kitchen, grab a snack, and get settled, get comfortable with Mama before the next round of wrestling starts, because the varsity's up. And by the way, that's going to run through pretty quick too. There's
I think six forfeits.
Yeah, so that's never fun to have less wrestling than more wrestling. But any wrestling is better than no wrestling. It's like all pizza is good, just some better than others.
And that's right.
So same thing with wrestling. All of it's good. We're just grateful to be here. Grateful to have the foresight of Juab Wrestling Club, and really kind of the Holmans were behind this, but just having the foresight to say, hey, let's do some live streaming, let's broadcast all of our matches this year. So that's what we're going to do to the best of our ability. Now, this coming weekend is the Juab Winter Classic in the Hive. And unless something strange happens, we're not going to be broadcasting that. I'm going to be in Canada, and it just, with all that moving around and stuff, just get to the Hive, I guess is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Go to the Hive.
Go support.
Go watch wrestling in person.
Yeah.
And then after that, just again, depending on work schedules and things change right at the last minute, but we'll be broadcasting as many matches, duels, and tournaments as we possibly can. Typically, a lot of these, like the Classic, is a bunch of duels, just like last weekend was in Millard, was just a bunch of duels, which is, for spectators, fans, that is the best way to watch wrestling.
Well, and you get so many matches in that way versus.
They got 9 last weekend.
Yeah,
9, come on.
They'll get another 9 come Friday, Saturday, and that's 18 matches in 2 weekends.
Gosh.
That's a lot of good.
That's insane. But it's fun. It's fun for the spectators because you get to see your guy wrestle or your girl wrestle, and about every 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's just hardly anything better than that. So, we'll cover all the tournaments that we can. Now, the traditional tournament where you've got individuals who are advancing through the bracket, that gets to be a little bit chaotic because we only have one set of equipment and we can't unplug it and reset it up in another place as easy as you think we should.
Yeah.
And so normally for those kinds of tournaments, we do our best to broadcast the semifinals and the finals. Those are the 2 best rounds of wrestling anyway. I mean, all rounds are good, right?
Yeah, but those are super, aren't they?
They're spectacular.
Yeah.
All right, fans, just hang tight. We'll end this broadcast. We'll start another one when the varsity starts. It's supposed to start at 7. I bet you they don't start early just to give fans a chance to get here.
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll see you back online at 7 o'clock.